Are you looking for a faster video? Well, today it's a live stream, and I know you're probably looking for a really nice and tidy, edited down video, but I have ways for you to make it faster. You can click that little gear on the YouTube settings right there on the video and adjust the playback speed, make me sound like a chipmunk, and it'll go a lot faster. You can also look and see if there's timestamps for this project in the description, and if you're on a desktop, you can hover over the time bar at the bottom of the screen and see if it's chunked up into chapters, and then that way you can go directly to the step you're looking for. And lastly, you can also tap on the screen on the right hand side of the video picture or on the left hand side to make the video jump ahead, forward or backward if you're on a mobile device. And you can adjust that amount in your settings so you can have complete control over how much it jumps. So if you are on a desktop, you can use the fast forward or the rewind, and that will make it go faster as well. You can also enable subtitles, and the little CC on the screen will enable closed captioning. That way, if I am a little bit harder to understand with that double playback speed, the subtitles might help you out. All right, well, I know that it's not a nice little edited video, but if you sew with me, we'll get there together and it'll be lots of fun. And now for the live stream. Happy sewing! Hello, how are you? Hi Aisha, hi Delwyn, hey Nancy. Nice, Nancy. Woo woo. Are you finally, are you retired? Or is this like the first day you've had since you've been retired that it's all whatever you want? Hi Tammy, hey Carmen, hey Hannah, how's it going? Welcome. So I'm sewing part 1 today of the Belle bag. The camera's a little overexposed there, but this is what it looks like by Swoon Patterns. Oh, and let's put this, wow, that's big. Let's put that up here. Hearts Fabric gave us this project. There's a little 10% off code for anything. So they supplied everything I needed to make this, and then I make it, and then I send it to them, and it lives at their store. They can do whatever they want with it. Hey, Margaret. Hey, Dar. How's it going? I haven't seen you in a bit. Hey, Terry. Hey, Amy. Did I say hi to you, Amy? Yeah, don't worry, Amy. Yesterday was an ironing ASMR stream. Hey, Libby. Hey, Costin. S. Costin. How's it going? First day since you've been retired. I've been retired for 3 or 4 months now. I don't know how I had time to wait. That's what everybody says. Hey, Martina. Hey, Shasha. How's it going? Oh, your name is also Aisha? That's funny. I'll try to remember that. Then you won't know who I'm saying hi to, though. The camera's a little bright, sorry. But I wanted to show you, and I'm going to make it darker. I just finished some pants, and look, I put my awl and seam ripper on one back pocket. It's very subtle. And I put scissors on the other. You know, right? Hey, Matilda. Hey, Heidi. Yeah, I was good friends at one point with a retired couple 2 doors down from me, and they were just like, I do not know how I ever had time to work. They were busier than me, you know. This is bugging me that it looks crooked, but it doesn't look crooked on there. I'm so zoomed in. You don't need to see me that close. There we go. My braid's a little funky. Whatever. These are the new glissandos. Yeah, exactly. That's funny, Aisha. There's one in the guild, Aisha. There's 2 Aishas in the guild. Have I ever made something for hearts that I really, really want? Yeah, actually, most of the time. I still think about the very first thing we ever made for them, the butterfly blouse by Decades of Style. But it was in that, remember that flying swan or flying goose print? So cool. Hi, Aussie Chic. I should make a list of, it would be fun to look at all the things we've made for them. Because we've probably made like 30 things. Do you think it's that many? I don't know if it's that many. Hi, Elena. Hi, Shem. I think, Aisha. Maybe they're on Instagram. I know how you feel, though. If I ever saw a Saremy, I would stop dead in my tracks. Hi, Sue. Until the internet, I'd never seen another Saremy. I'm sorry, this is so bright. And then, you know, when there was enough information on the internet and we were all Googling ourselves for the very first time. Hello, there we go. And I couldn't get the website saremy.com. That was taken by someone, excuse me, in Brazil, I think. Hey, Barbara. Hey, Amanda. Excuse me. And then eventually I just Googled. So if I Google my first and last name, I come up, like, hands down. And I have a huge internet footprint. I've had 3 businesses. I've been interviewed, you know, like all that junk. I have a website, whatever. And, you know, like, it's like, you know, when we were babies on the internet, we didn't know what to like, you know, be careful about. So, well, not that I've never been careful, but you know what I mean? Anyway, I can't hide who I am. Anyway, when I finally decided to, like, when it occurred to me to just Google my first name only, for a long time, I was the only one that came up. And then the internet search got better and better and better, and it got more worldwide. And I think that it's an Iranian name, which I would love to know more about. So, which is kind of cool. And it's funny because when I was a kid, there was this Iranian family who moved into the condominium complex my mom and I lived in. And they were only there temporarily. He had moved there. The dad had moved there for work, and they were just there for temporary housing. And they gave me this amazing, it was like a necklace, like a pendant and a necklace. And it's incredible. I have it in my, like, special jewelry box. So I still think of that. Maybe for them, my name was like a normal name, and they were like, oh, something familiar, which I was like 10 years old, so. You used to feel like the only Heidi. If you saw another Shem. It seems like you're doing all the work. Well, yeah, I know, Amy, but at the same time, it's great, right? We get all these different types of projects, and we discovered decades of style. We discovered, like, all kinds of things, which is really great, so. I always wanted to be a Samantha growing up. I just wanted a normal name. Yeah, that's it. So Shasha is the other Aisha in the guild. That's funny. Do you think there are people lurking in the guild using false names? Gosh, I don't know. Maybe. There was definitely we were on the brink of a little drama at the beginning of the summer, unnecessary drama, and it felt like there was all of a sudden someone in there kind of like trying to drum something up. And I didn't boot anyone out or block anybody. Like, whatever I do in there, first of all, whatever we do in the guild is private to the people in the guild, but all are welcome to join the guild. And I need to make that more clear because it is not okay to screenshot people in the guild and then share it other places. And that is definitely what happened by someone. And I know it for a fact. And I'm not cool with that because I want that to be a really safe space for anybody. But the thing is, it's a freaking fitting method, so it's not a big deal to me. Like, everything is open and available, and everyone's welcome to do whatever they want with their sewing. That's how I feel about it. So, I don't have anything to hide. So, all are welcome. And I welcome people saying, hey, you know, I don't agree with this, so. Do I ever ask my mother how she came? Oh, I know exactly how my mother came up with my name. This is the story. My mother wanted Sarah and my father wanted Emily, or the other way around. They couldn't agree, no surprise, and they combined it. I was also almost a serendipity. So thank goodness Saremy came about. You finished your husband's costume for the Ren Fair. It was scary and stressful to figure it out. That is awesome, Amanda. Oh really, Shem? Oh, I'll have to look. We'll ask them or talk to them. I don't know. I hope there's nothing fishy in there. If there's ever something that makes someone uncomfortable in there, I hope you would tell me immediately, because I have no problem addressing it. All are truly welcome in there, but I will not put up with anyone being felt like they aren't welcome, or that someone else is doing something to them. I will not put up with that. I am a really nice person, but I know how to enforce boundaries. So yeah, I'm totally fine with that. And now we have Terry here, the real muscle around here. It has a frog closure and snaps at the shoulder and a lace up. Wow, Amanda, that's awesome. Congratulations. Are you in the guild? Will we get to see pictures of it? If you're on Instagram, you know, you like tag me in your comments, or like just maybe you don't have to tag me, but you can, because I didn't help you with it or anything like that. You don't need to give me, I don't want to feel like it's like you're giving me credit, but I just want to see. I want to see. Wait. I have no. It was about Threads magazine, especially the pants fitting photos and videos. Yeah, right, Amy, exactly. That's partly why I say, you mean like about sharing? Yeah. It may be, what is this that you're talking about? Someone posted something about, the Threads magazine article. Oh. Ooh, guild drama. Nancy's like, bring it on. Parents, gotta love them. And just to my mom's credit, my mom did 100% of the raising of me. My dad had no part in it. So I sometimes now doubt that story, that my mom couldn't decide between the two, because she was trying to be kinder to my dad than she really needed to be, you know? So I wonder if she couldn't decide between Sarah and Emily. I should ask her. You always make me think of great things to ask my mom, and I'm really close with her, especially now. I think I know what you saw. It must feel like someone's trying to stir up drama, but we might. It just must. Yeah, I don't know what it is. The person who has been active. They have been active. Okay. I don't put up with shenanigans. Maybe it's new to them. When your daughter Miranda was little, she was mad that we didn't name her Jessica. Oh, cool, Amanda. That is awesome. He's going to paint it too. If you're talking about the top-down, center-out issue, that came out in like April or May, because I bought it in person. I actually drove to town. It's a big deal for me. I won't even drive to town for better pizza, but I drove to town to buy that issue because I wanted to support it. So why aren't you liking or commenting? Oh, I'll look at it. I'll definitely comment and like it. Whatever. Just clicked out of the post. Yeah, it seems fishy. No other. Oh. I love how we're all over here on YouTube going, what's going on in the guild? Yeah, so maybe they just missed everything. The thing is, a lot of you are also in the skill building session all about pants, where we've talked a lot about that. And you have to remember that everybody in the guild doesn't see all of our pants fitting stuff. Not that we've talked about top down, center out in there, except when that original person came in and was like, here, you can't do this and profit off of it. You know, like that, it was a little bit like, no, that's not what's happening here. Hi, Miranda. How's it going? If it's in a Joann's, when a store gets it, highly varies. Oh, yeah, so maybe they just reprinted it or re-released it. I don't know. I had to buy mine in a Barnes & Noble. So, don't you just love going to a bookstore? A, don't you just love going to a bookstore? And B, going and looking at the magazine section? I want like 10 new hobbies when I'm in there. It's so frustrating and wonderful. Seems to imply what the guild was working on stole it from someone. What? Oh, the guild was working on stole it from... What? Anyway, we're here to sew a bag. I'm over... I am totally... The funny thing about me is I'm confrontational, as in, like, I will address something, mainly because I'll pass out if I don't, or it'll bug me. I'm really confrontational that way, but at the same time, I really will almost pass out dealing with it. And then, but I'm also, like, zero drama. So, yeah, exactly, Amanda. That's exactly it. Changing topics. We want Spoonflower to stop telling me about... Me too, Shem. Did you answer their... what do you call it? Like, not a review. Survey? Did you answer their survey a couple months ago? Because I said that. I was like, look, you guys are cute. I love you. But there's only so many times people can wallpaper their house. No matter how much you put it on sale, no matter how many times you change bases, there's only so many times we can paper our houses. And I'm not papering my house once. Like, it's awesome. It's cool. I am so enamored with all the pictures. I'm not doing it because I know 5 years from now I'll be sick of it. So I'm not doing it. But what you guys should focus on is garment fabrics. That's what I said. I was like, please, 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 for the love of sewing, please give us a linen and give us a rayon. Thank you. Oh, you should absolutely do it, Terry. Let me live through you. You buy wallpaper. I bet you use it for something really cool, Elena. You didn't know you need popcorn for today? Nah, don't worry about it. You love books. So you got a part-time job. That's like a dream job. That sounds good. Oh, you have a broken foot? Oh my goodness, Terry. That's a very significant life-changing thing. Yeah, I knew you'd do something cool with it, Elena. That's awesome. Yeah, Barbara's in the same situation. You love the magazine right next to the coffee shop. There's a Starbucks inside our Barnes & Noble. This is the one tragedy. I can't believe I was about to say that, but it is one of the tragedies of this town is that there was one freestanding bookstore that was new books. There's a freestanding used bookstore that I think caters mostly to university needs. And then there was one freestanding bookstore that I went in the very first day we visited here, and I went in every single time we visited, and that was like the only store I would visit, that and Made in Chico. I love that store too. And then they closed, and I was really heartbroken because there's only a Barnes & Noble now. And I just like, I think independent booksellers are really valuable. Wouldn't it be great if Spoonflower got linen? Tell them. I was like 4.5 ounce, 5 ounce, something like that. Like we're talking garment weight, people. We're not talking upholstery. We're not talking treated with something to be outdoors. We're not talking about home deck. We're talking about garment weight, Spoonflower. I love you, I love you, I love you. I've been your biggest advocate since you came out. Please, for the love of sewing, get some garment fabrics. They print on a linen cotton canvas. It's awesome. It is maybe good for skirts and pants or overalls, but it is not a linen like dress or top material. Yeah. Now you finally get to sew something for you that you really want to make. You're thinking cute dress for fall. Ooh, what are you thinking about? Yeah, it's true, Elena. I signed up for even their mobile alerts, and Spoonflower would probably not appreciate me saying this, but They're not annoying, first of all. They're very infrequent, and it's the exact same thing on their email. So that's why I say if you're already getting their emails, you're not missing out on the mobile alerts. But see, I'm like rah Spoonflower. It would be one of my dream jobs to work for them. I would love to be like a let me come up with projects for you. I don't even have to do it for your content team. Your content team can do all the fun stuff. Let me just come up with things for you. Let me show you all the things you can do. Like, let me do stuff. Let me make patterns for you. I'll do anything. But I don't think we're going to be moving back east ever. So that's the problem. And they closed down their German facility, and I thought that was actually, if I ever got to work in one, that would be it, because I don't think it's out of the cards we'd ever move to Europe. The magnolia would be a good fall dress. It's a little low cut if you're in a cold area for fall. Yeah, we need there to be a 30% pro sale. Your blue teal cotton with white polka dots. Oh yeah, that'd be cute. That sounds really cute. Here we are just chatting. Sorry if you're here for the sewing. We're getting there, I promise. Let me put my pants away. By putting away, I'm just gonna toss in a pile over there. All right, so I've been thinking about this bag, and I've been thinking about how the inside is sewn. I never looked at the hashtag for this. I should have. It would have been really fun to see all the people's creations. Like this one here was made by Erin Morris. Erin Morris is a fabric designer, though. Did you watch the video? They announced opening 2 new distribution. I did see that. I did watch the video. I'm telling you, I'm their biggest fan. Although I think you may have eclipsed me in amount of money spent there, Shem, even when I was buying wholesale there. Oh my goodness, Terry, you are in a bag making, like you got bag making plans. Okay, so this is what I have been thinking about with this is how is the inside finished? Because now that I've figured out that, because we were talking about this at the end of the video, that it's probably a drop-in, or it is a drop-in lining. So that means that the lining, I'm super fidgety, sorry. I am just a fidgety person. The lining is not plastered to the sides, right? It's free hanging. So it's easier to sew a bag like this, but as far as function goes, it's really nice when it's smooth on the inside. I feel like you get more volume inside the bag. Hi, Vestigia. Yeah, me too, Shem. Yeah, and I also really appreciated that he was still there and still involved, you know, because when Shutterfly bought it, I was like, oh, here we go. But then I saw that they have like, you can take your designs and put them on like plates and things, and I was like, oh, now this is kind of interesting. Now, I don't like melamine plates though. I am such a bad consumer, to be honest. I'm terrible. I just switched out all my pins. Yeah, I didn't actually know that either, Michelle. I'm not surprised. They've been really pushing one of their machines lately. Oh, you know what? Speaking of machines, I need to make sure mine is ready to go, because I was sewing those jeans. I'm actually having some tension issues when oh, here's a bobbin. This is a Bernina bobbin. I can tell. I'm having, like, I really want to switch between threads all the time, you know, but, because I do the top stitching and stuff. But I have to admit, like, I don't really like my tension too much when I'm using a top stitching thread. And I think it's just me. Nothing, Justine. We've just been chatting. Drop-in lines are easy to wash. Oh. So do you mean because you can just, like, pull out the lining? It's still attached to the bag, but you can pull it through the opening and then kind of spot clean it. That's a good point. Yeah, a PUL lining. Yeah, true. Wipe down. This bag's washable though. Like the one I'm making is washable. I'm not using any leathers or anything that can't be washed. Yeah, exactly. Amanda. Oh. Okay, I have advice on the large blackbird order, Shem. I say don't do one large blackbird order because it doesn't take long for them to ship from Canada. I don't think the shipping is very expensive. Canadian shipping is so much cheaper than American shipping. So I say order the things you want when you see them from them and do a few smaller orders because I think that as soon as you place a big order, I guarantee, I would bet my whole sewing studio on it, that they're going to come up with something you want a lot 2 weeks later. They have done that to me every single time I've ordered. They do have kits and they're affordable. Is that what you mean, kits, Michelle? Ooh. What'd you get a kit for, Terry? What was it for? I know you have the raspberry bag. A backpack kit. You just want everything anyway. I want a backpack kit. Oh, for the cheaper oh. That's interesting. Maybe that's why their shipping is cheaper. I want a backpack kit and I want to sew it with you. Which one did you get? I don't need a backpack. I don't know why I'm saying this. My daughter might though. I know, Shem. It drives me crazy. They're Cordura. Okay. That sounds fun. What pattern though? I want to know what the pattern is. It like their pattern or? I'm going to sew my husband's. Oh, you want to get their denim. One of my all-time favorite denims was Dead Stock that I got from them. And I used it in a jacket that turned out so amazing. And I have never worn it really. And it's they had this denim called popcorn denim. And so it was a kind of a denim that was a little slubbier. And then they had little white flecks occasionally. And I used it on the Audrey jean jacket. The vendor picks up the U.S. bound package and takes it to white. Oh, yeah, that's great. It's kill building? No. Let's just sew it. Please don't make me create instructional content for so long. Year of the bags. That's what Shim's motto is. Oh, it's their pattern. Oh. Oh, I think we should do this. This sounds fun. I say this and I'm like, ooh, I've got my whole rest of the year planned. So, all right. Half hour in, we haven't started sewing. Sorry. I'm not sorry. We're about community here. That is exactly what we're about here is community. Their denims can sell it fast, especially the selvage. Yeah, that is exactly why I say don't place one big order. Place orders as you see what you want. Oh, that'll be nice, Shem. Except for the growing out of it part. Can you maybe with the strong? Oh. Are you in Canada, Justine? I always find like because I've used, people have sent me packages from Canada and they include return post and there's no way I can ship it there for that amount. It's like 6 times more. One backpack pattern with 3 colors, round duffel, square duffel, and a carry-all. 3 colors, that's it. 6 colors, 6 colors, that's it. You literally double the numbers. I'm like, that's not enough. Pattern's printed on the back of the Cordura. Oh. Oh, you're in, okay. So I'm wrong. That's why their shipping is affordable. Nice double brush poly, and it's like trying to lay out sticky. Yeah, that stuff is really, it's like a flannel. A pink camp print backpack kit. Not my style, but could be cute. The denim I want to use, she gets in stock off. I've seen that one. I think I've used it. Is it the stretch or is it a non-stretch? Or you said it was non-stretching. Yeah, I think Blackbird gets a really great assortment. I agree. But then I'll look at Hearts and they have it at Hearts. And I'm like, I'm going to get it there and because they're going to ship it today or tomorrow. Okay. I knew what you meant, Barbara. Camo. I mean camo. I don't like camo prints personally, but they've come a long way. Like the dinosaur one Shem used was kind of a crack up. Yeah, exactly. True, Elena. A dark denim, yeah. So one not suitable for streaming. All right, so shall we start sewing? All right, let's organize the bin a little bit. I think we're going to be just putting things together. One key thing that I missed doing during the cutting stream yesterday was the foam was only supposed to go to this line right here on this piece here. So remember when I cut 2 of those? So see, it's like between 3/4 and 7/8 of an inch shorter. So see that? So don't forget to do that. Yeah, he got it on spoon flour. That's right. Exactly, Shim. I don't know if you want her blending in with the dinosaurs. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, so I'm going to follow the instructions here. I may go rogue. We know that, though, I think. Great. So first thing we're going to do is, I'm not going to use my zigzag. I'm going to use a serger, and I'm going to mash down this foam along this zipper edge. I feel like something's about to go in my eye. So I got my serger over here. And we're doing this so that we're basically compressing the foam. And I'm just going to serge along this edge here. Sorry, my foot pedal is spinning. I'm trying to also see if, I think I'm going to just tighten up my tension a little bit on the loopers. Actually, I'm going to tighten it up a lot so that we can maybe mash it down a little better. Experiment. Yeah, that actually mashes it down. See that? Okay. I would like it to be wider though. Let's make this one a little... No, don't make it wider. You don't want that sneaking out. Oh no, this will be covered by fabric. Yeah, make it wider. What the heck? All right. Squish it. It's kind of itchy. Okay, so we've mashed down our foam. All right. I'm just going to start. There's no notches, so, I can just get rid of the pattern pieces. All right, and now we're going to tack the main fabric around the perimeter. We're just basically tacking our pieces to the foam so we can treat them like one. You could probably just search spoon flour for dinosaur camouflage. Bug out bag. Oh, is that what you call a go bag? Yeah, I have to say, this is terrible, but I haven't packed mine this year. And now I've gotten to this weird point where I'm feeling superstitious about doing it. Because we've had such a really mild fire season. And now I'm like, if I do my go bag, we're going to have a heavy fire season. Now I know it's not rational. I don't really believe in that, like doing that to myself too. Oh, I'm going to be using denim fabric, Justine. But you could buy pre-made straps for sure. Oh, the sale, right? Not the. Yeah. The other day, I got home and I went into our bedroom, and you guys know one of my cats has just basically decided he's never leaving our bedroom again. And I was in our closet, which is like a small walk-in closet. It was the weirdest thing. And I was changing my clothes to home clothes, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I look over, and there's our cat inside my suitcase, and he was just sitting there, not looking at me. Like, he was just like if I don't look at her, she won't notice me. It was so funny. I was like, oh, okay. What are you doing in my suitcase? He was just laying down on the few things I have in there. And I went to get my phone, then he came out, and he was just like, oh, hey, did you just get home? I was like, what the heck, dude? All right, so we're going to do these. And now we're going to do the other foam pieces. So it's this. We're also going to attach this. And there's a lot in this bin. Just saying. Think of it as earthquake prep. Oh, you're so smart. Not that I care about earthquakes at all. It can, Chim. It's a go bag, Aussie chic. So, you know, an evacuation bag. I'm such a dyed-in-the-wool, which is a terrible expression for a Californian, but I am such a dyed-in-the-wool Californian. I do not care about earthquakes one bit. All right. This is key. If you're using a lighter outer fabric, get rid of any threads. These will show through, guaranteed, and that's annoying. Hi, Helen. No worries. Stay as long as you like. Please don't push everything off. I found my little ruler. Oh man, are you serious? When they installed our solar, they ruptured our water line. We're on a well. And get this, when they reached in, they didn't know, but did know. The hole started filling with water, and I don't know why they reached into the hole. Remember, they're installing solar and electrical stuff, right? They reached into the hole, and it shocked him. It was full of water, and it was electrified water. That guy is so lucky he didn't just perish. Couldn't believe it when I heard. I was like, what? And we still have a water leak they haven't fixed. Not like we're in a drought, you know. Yeah, I definitely have the pets and their go bags together. Those are really, you're right. Like, not worrying about that is so nice. So a backpack kit looks cool. Only like 40 something. And the fabric has a pattern pieces printed in it. That's cool. Okay, so here's my tip when you do something like that. If you think you might want a second one, lay another piece of fabric underneath it when you cut it out. Because that was how I would sometimes do the, I was waiting for it to run out of bobbin. I used the smaller one so I could wind the other one. I did that with Sprout Patterns when that was a thing on Spoonflower. See, Spoonflower could bring me back, and I would do Sprout Patterns for them. Because I have some ideas about that and why it didn't work. Heidi, thank you. What's that for? This little lemon. What's that for? Oh, I forgot. Okay, so I forgot that there's this channel membership thing I may sign up for as an experiment. So I'm just gonna warn y'all. It's gonna be great for people who just want to send support and don't want to join something like a guild, the guild or something. And you'll get your own custom emotes. Okay, my first impressions of working with this foam are really positive. And I'll tell you why. If you are sewing something like this stiffener here, right? When you go to stitch this stiffener down to another layer of fabric, it won't stay as flat like this. This didn't shift at all. So I think that scrim on the foam, it helps it. I got a new subscriber a few minutes ago. Did I? Welcome, new subscriber. I did not see that. Oh, Latricia, welcome. So I don't have to squish down. I guess not, Ellen, and I think that's because the that particular edge is going to the zipper. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, Heidi. I can't guarantee that I won't have any pitfalls because I was talking about this with So Terry in the comment section this morning. I have a wrinkle in my thing right here. I just want to know, can I get rid of it? I think I ironed it in there with my interfacing. Oh no, it's in the interfacing too. Good. I was talking about her, like, it's like, oh, I like to experiment, but when it's a bag, sometimes it's a little harder to experiment on a bag because there's a lot of things going on and I don't want to steer anybody astray, you know? All right, so I'm not going to do this yet. I'm going to look at this because I saw something about this in there. And they said to, let's see. Repeat to based foam interfacing to the main panel, exterior side panels, exterior top panels. Yeah, it just says to do that squishing on those top pieces. That's it. I swear I saw something about attaching that foam. Oh yeah, center the bottom support stabilizer on the wrong side of the exterior bottom panel and fuse it in place. But I wasn't sure how you're supposed to fuse it. So, like you're supposed to fuse this stabilizer here, but maybe I was supposed to cut like a double-sided fusible interfacing for this piece. I didn't see that. I may have missed it. So mine's just gonna be floating. We'll deal with it later. All right, Amy, see you later. Yeah, Heidi, so I'm thinking that I may not do a drop-in for this. But my issue with that is that it is very different than the instructions. I feel like this pattern's probably been out for a while, so maybe I can just do whatever I want, and there's some resources out there to help people sew this the way it's recommended, and maybe showing an alternative to a drop-in lining would be helpful. It requires binding, but it's on the inside of your bag, and it's a great excuse to practice binding in a really low risk spot. No one's gonna see it. And your bag's gonna work really good. You love how I'm selling you on this? All right, so I would never do this in production, so this is awesome. I just love being able to be like, let's just set ourselves up for success. Yeah, I don't either, Justine. I'm not sure And maybe it's because, it might be because they call for a fusible stabilizer, and I don't have a fusible stabilizer. That's probably what it is. If you have a piece of like Wonder Under, or maybe some sort of like the sewing glue, you know? What's that sewing glue called? 5 out of 4 loves it. 5 out of 4 patterns of it. It's in here somewhere. Oh, it just says Beacon Fabritac fabric glue. Oh yeah. They call for fusible heavy stabilizer. Do you, Michelle? Oh, that's not good. You might have to clear out your cookies. They did redesign their website, so maybe that's why. I need to put this bobbin somewhere. It doesn't go in my drawer. And I don't want it to fall on the ground. Heat and Bond Light, yeah. I could use like Wonder Under on this, but I'm just gonna wing it. Just to save some of that. I have barely any left, so I'm just kind of saving it. All right, we've got our main thing together, or all these pieces. So let's get rid of these out of my bin. Put them in my pattern envelope. And now we're going to switch to all the handles and connectors and things. Oh, this can go with those big foam panels like that. Kind of. I actually like to separate my pattern out by lining and by outer, you know? Okay, here is all that, yeah. I have a feeling today we're going to do all the prep. We're going to get all our straps ready, all our hardware ready. We're going to bind the tops of pockets. We're going to assemble pieces. And then on Saturday, boom, it's all going to come together. I don't know, Justine. I haven't used it in years. They actually recommend the Peltex fusible. I feel like that's fusible on one side. Someone probably knows here. All right, so let's, okay, which one's the connectors and handle connectors? This picture, I just don't understand it. Okay, full panel. Oh, yeah, I remember. Okay, so this must be the handle connectors. So basically, we're gonna do some ironing. That did work. Oh, good. Yeah, you know how sometimes websites just do things. Mine, I just redid mine. I mean, not quite as in depth as most people's, but it does look a little more cohesive and cleaner. I'm still working on it. I did add fitting and consulting sessions for a half hour. Okay, Justine, you're probably good. Oh, yeah. I think it does say 71F. Pellon Peltex 71F. Okay. Which one is this right here again? All right. I'm going to make sure that I'm using the right pieces. Just, I do not want to unpick this. I don't have any fabric. So this is the handle. Oh, and this is the connector. Okay. So glad I checked. So if I do this, okay. I'm just trying to understand what's happening here. Like what's the end result of this? Oh, I get it. Okay. Okay, the handle connector is the lower strap. at the bottom of the bag that connects to the handles. Okay. All right. See right here. That's these. Okay. We got this. Exterior pockets for pocket binding. We're just binding. Fold, wrong side together, matching, open and fold each long edge. Okay, yeah, I know how to do that. Fold and what are we doing with it though? What? Pin next, okay. We're just binding the top edge, right? With the lining in the main fabric. It's just a whole page of telling me to bind this. And that's what always concerns me because I'm like, am I missing something? In 2 pieces. All right, I feel like we're gonna be okay. Yeah, that's so smart, Nancy. I feel like you're giving me a hint. I get one time though. And this is exactly why we have this channel, right? Because people following along or people sewing this pattern, they don't make more than one, right? This is the first time that they get to do this. So this is exactly why I have this channel, because people are like, wait, I've never sewn this before. I haven't gotten to practice. You have a lot of money invested in these materials. So this is like a real user experience, right? They're going to come to your pattern and maybe they're not sure. I'm waiting for my iron to heat up. They're not sure how to do it. They don't even know if they want to sew it more than once. And so this is the typical, kind of typical, I know I'm not typical sewist, but if the typical experience of someone at home in the evening, they're going to sew the bag and then they're like, oh, what if I do this wrong? You know, I'm just giving myself a guide, and now I'm going to fold this. My iron's not quite heated up though, so it may be a little grouchy. What? My iron be grouchy? Someone in the in our community has been trying to give me a donation, and I refused it at first because they're like, you know, I got to be in the guild for free, and I'm like, yeah, but that's because it wasn't free. You paid for Patreon, and I'm just extending the time you had left on Patreon to the guild, right? And she's like, no, I just want to give it to you. So I decided I'm going to accept it, but I want to use it for something really cool so I can think of this person. So I'm open to ideas. It's $150. How best, what do you think would be best for the channel? I would like some ideas. I don't want to just buy fabric, you know? I don't need that. Or paper, you know, like printing PDFs. I don't want to just do that. Maybe something like an iron, but my iron is still working, so I don't really want to buy it until I really need one. You know? Let's do 1/2 first. So I'm open to ideas. You're not hinting. Oh, I don't think the directions are poor. They're just very detailed. So that's not poor, right? And I know that my experience is a little different. I really like it a step to be titled. Now we're going to bind the pockets. And a little synopsis. Basically, we're going to be putting the lining behind each pocket panel all of it wrong sides together and then binding the top edge. And then tell me how to do it if I need that, you know? Do I need a new camera? I've thought about getting another webcam as a backup because sometimes we do see some funny things about some of them. And that would buy a webcam. That's about all that would buy. Other cameras are out of my league besides webcams. Like people who do DLSR for their streams, that's legit, man. I don't even know how to do that. You know? Okay, so we've got this. Yeah, like a particular tool. That's what I was thinking too, like a particular tool. All right. Okay, now we're going to cut these in half. We want 4. We want 2 per side of the bag, right? Thread. I don't need thread. I have a wall of it. It's a good one though. It's so essential, right? And it holds everything together. So I like the symbolism. Ooh, tools to review. Could be interesting. As long as I want the tools though. I'm not one of those people that wants to accrue everything and then have to have them afterward. I don't really need anything. There was something I was thinking about getting. You know what I really want, but no one would see it, is I want to rebuild my rigging. That would be a good use for that. That would actually be a very good quality of streaming life thing. We like quality of streaming life. Like the Elgato, this little guy. This thing is my little, have I shown this to you? Oh, this is going such a long way. Here, I'll just move this little guy. This was a Christmas gift, though. I didn't use money from the So-So bank account to buy it. It was a Christmas gift. And so, like, these are all, like this right here is where we are. And so, like, this will go to my pattern table. This goes to my iron. So there's my little iron symbol. There's my full screen. These are all websites here. I love it. Not entirely 100% necessary, but definitely quality streaming life. A buttonhole machine. Heidi's speaking my love language. Ooh, presser feeder attachments. Ooh. That's intriguing. That is intriguing. All right, let's think about that. I like this. I like the community involvement on this. All right. So y'all get that? We cut these into 4 pieces, right? And now we're going to put our rectangles on them. I put all 4 of mine in one compartment because I stole the other little thing to hold my pins. Yeah, the little button thing is it's really cool. I don't know why you need to press under a 1/2 inch, but I'm just going to like iron it. I'm just going to sew it in there. Well, actually, yeah, we'll just pin this in place because we can sew it down since we're doing this the way we're doing it. A stream deck is a necessary tool. It's true, isn't it, Elena? They're so cool. There's huge ones, you guys. You should see how big they get. I have like I don't have the smallest one. The smallest one's way too small, in my opinion. You would very quickly start going, oh, but I want this and that and everything. An invisible zipper foot. That's not that expensive though, right? But yeah, I think I'm liking this foot idea. The buttonhole machine, if $150 would pay for that, I'm there. And as long as it's not industrial, I don't have room for that. All right, we got our little things there. And we're gonna put this on the main panel. 2.5 inches from center, so 5 inches apart. March down to the right side, and so it is to the left of the left mark line. So line, okay, so it's not centered over the line. Okay, got it. Just making sure I understand that they're not, how they're not spaced. You have the small one? Oh, okay, see, I saw that, Elena, but I was like, it didn't work for me. One thing I wanted my Stream Deck to do was I wanted to be able to do it like a macro. Like I wanted to do a series of steps. And it looks like they have to be tied to some of the headings they have. So like when I lighten the camera or darken the camera, I really wanted a lighten and darken button. And I could just tap it until it got where I wanted, you know? But I guess that's not really the ideal thing, so I'm gonna use my little soapstone pencil here. I can barely see it though, so not a good choice. We'll use the chocolate liner. Yeah, I should talk with you sometime about your how you've set yours up, because I'm kind of curious, you know. All right. This goes way up there. All right, you know what I would have done different on this pattern is I would have just put notches down here. You edit the headings, there's ways around it, but yeah, it takes quite a bit. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I just need to delve into it. I was just so excited, it was so easy. It was like the easiest technological thing I had set up in so long, you know? I was just like, thank goodness something went right. This is a little easier to do this. I want this parallel from the edge too. Oh, no, 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 I do not want this parallel from the edge. I'm just gonna fold it again. My markings weren't the same on that side. 2.5, 2.5. This one is the one that's wrong down here. 2.5, it's this one right here. Okay, good to know. All right. You need a couple because you need it to be a straight line going straight up. All right, sew through all the layers. Line your raw edge up to the bottom. And then we're gonna hit this. So you needed to fold this so that you have room to go by your D-ring here with your presser foot. Zoom has this, oh. All right, yeah, don't listen to the things I said then, because there's more capability than I have given it credit. Just pulling that little raw edge under there. And I'm gonna go across the top here again, like 1/4 of an inch down. I'm gonna go back to that long edge. There's too much stuff on my table right now. And now we're gonna go, so try and keep this nice and flat. That looks nice. The denim looks nice on here. Don't you think? All right, now we have this one. We're gonna do this for all 4. And I'm gonna get rid of some junk on my table here right now. Look at these little compartments, Nancy. This one I gotta get rid of the tape on. There we go. But these are kind of cool, and you can hang them up. You can also detect the apps you're using. You'll see your button settings change. Ooh. Ooh. I think the first time I really saw a Elgato Stream Deck in use was a speedrunner I watched. So he's doing splits with it. So I know that there's things you can do. Yeah, I like the denim with it. It's not quite like, you know, like sometimes denim will give kind of a Western vibe. And this denim doesn't really have that kind of look to it. It could, I guess, if you were maybe, oh, that was too close to the handle. So that's a little crooked. Whoops. Or a lot crooked. I'm actually going to go up and go across so that it looks a little straighter. Optical illusion. And like I said in the cutting stream, you could use webbing for this. You don't have to use fabric. And you would just cut your webbing the 1 inch width, because that's what this is 1 inch. I think I said it was 1.5 inch, and I think I was wrong about that. I'm still kind of curious why this handle is 6 inches, but this one's 4 inches, because 4 inches would mean that that's a 1 inch handle. So maybe the strap, the clip-on strap, is 1.5 inches. That's what it is. Because that's the clip-on like long strap, so you could put it over your shoulder like a messenger bag. All right, so let's put this. Get that lined up. Your pockets will cover this up. So if you don't get them perfectly straight, don't fuss with it. You know, like don't sit there and try and get them perfectly on there. As long as when they come out of the pockets, they're looking pretty good, you're fine. You know, in my opinion, it's not worth fussing. And if you did fuss and you have all these needle holes, again, the pockets, gonna cover that. It is a directional print. All my bunnies are upright. I think one thing to pay attention to, besides, like, the straightness is great, but like I said, the pocket's going to cover it up to like right here. You're not going to see a whole lot. The thing that you might want to make sure you get is the length, so that your straps are all the same length as one another, because that is actually something that might bug you later, and it might make your handle feel a little funny if it's cockeyed on the bag. So that's one thing you might want to make sure you get. It's just the length of these straps the same. I should have checked mine just to make sure. All right, again, I'm gonna go across just to reinforce it. If you're doing webbing, absolutely reinforce your webbing. Webbing is really weak. It's just a misconception that webbing is really strong. It's not. You have to reinforce it. All right, where is that? Here's one. Oh, there it is. Okay. I couldn't see where that was. Tuck it in there. Oh, I forgot to go. Did I? I did not. Yeah. I forgot one. Let's do this one right here. Thankfully, my thread barely, you can't even see it. It would have been kind of cool to do a contrast thread there. Oh, look, there we go. Sorry, it's a little bright. All right, so we have our connectors on there. Ooh, I got really lucky in that I put this little identifier thing at the same end. Oh, maybe it's impossible not to. No, it's not impossible. I just got lucky that they're all pointing the same way. Because that would have bugged me. All right, what's next? We have our connectors, and now I think it's time to bind our pockets. I just want to make sure I understand this. Pin an exterior panel with lining, wrong sides of the other machine based on this. Okay, I'm not going to do that, but okay, repeat. Blah, 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 blah. Side pocket, exterior side pocket. Okay, pocket binding. This is so detailed. Don't start binding it. I'm going to show you an easy way to do this. I'm not. I'm just using regular sewing thread. Okay, this right. Okay, okay, yeah. Stick with me, kid. I'm going to make this binding part really easy for you. Okay. Let's get all of our pieces here. These are the ends, right? They have the little taper, I'm pretty sure. And we want our pockets. We're gonna get the long ones and the sides right here, all right? We're gonna get our binding out. It'll be really nice when there's less in this bin. Okay, let me move that. So we're doing this right here. Okay. All right, so this is the 2 exterior and 6 lining, because there must be an interior pocket too. All right, so we're gonna put all these wrong sides together, all right? So take your pockets, get them wrong sides together. All right, I'm not sure we're doing the interior ones yet, so I'll check that in a second. Now we're gonna do our exterior, same thing, wrong sides together. All right. This doesn't feel like enough binding. And they have you cut apart your binding. Don't cut your binding. You don't need to cut it in pieces, and you might lose a little bit, so you'll have a better usage of it. All right. Oh, this would be a perfect, okay, I'm not gonna use my binding attachment, but I could try my binding attachment here. All right, so we're gonna I'm gonna piece the binding together actually, because I'm gonna get a longer piece. And they called for a 25-inch piece, I think, 2 25-inch pieces. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of this. I will apologize, I'm not very good at the wider bindings, so we'll see how I do. Bunnies up! It reminds me of this game I play. Oh, I didn't line that up very good. I'm gonna take that apart and line it up a little bit better. This game I played, they had like a summer downloadable thing called Suns Up, Buns Up. It was like a summer thing, it was cute. It was a cooking game, so they were talking about, you know, hamburger buns. I don't know where your mind went, but Suns Up, Bunnies Up. All right, I'm just gonna cut this off so I don't have to pull the thread off. Let's line this up better this time. You wanna sew at the intersection, that right there. And I just couldn't see my intersection because of all that selvage. Go from the crook to crook, right there, that little angle there. And then you can trim these off too, because they will be trimmed off anyway later on. All right, and so we're gonna start with this right side to wrong side. So the top edge is the shorter length, all right? So just put this right side down on the back of your lining. If you want to secure your lining around all sides, go ahead. That's in the instructions to do. And this is a 1/2 inch finished binding, so I'm going to sew this with a 1/2 inch seam, and I'm going to gently pull my binding. That's kind of key to making this a little bit easy. So gently pull your binding a little bit. Let's turn down the brightness so I don't blind y'all. And let's zoom it in a little bit. Nice and cozy. Is that far enough in? Would you guys like more? That's pretty good. Okay. So I have it right side to wrong side of the lining here, and just gently pull. No one's ever going to see the inside of this, so there's no reason to pre-fold your binding. Pre-folding is just going to make you feel really limited. It's not going to help you out as much as you think it's going to help. So, all right, and then just keep going. Just do them all. You can cut it off if you want, but you don't have to. I would probably if it got too big, right? And this will help you save a little bit of binding as well. Here's my seam. Press it open. Nice and flat. Oh, I'm getting away from my 1/2 inch seam allowance. Again, remember, gently pull. Don't pull too tight, just gently pull. All right, now we're gonna do our ends. And it is going to be the wider end. See how it's a little wider at the top there? And same thing. They really did not give you much binding to mess around with. Look at this. I know I probably didn't cut exactly what they said, but I thought there'd be a little wiggle room. No, no wiggle room for me. All right, and now you can cut them apart if you want. We'll cut them apart. I could have cut them apart as I went, but whatever. All right. And now we're gonna bind them. You can iron it if you want. And if you iron it, just iron it like with the seam up. I'm not gonna worry about that. We're just gonna pull it to the other side, turn it under, and all we really need to do is make sure this fold goes past the seam line. That's all. And starting on the wrong side, ending on the right side, gently pulling the binding, all three of those are really key to making this really easy. I have bound literally miles of binding. So trust me when I say I have made every mistake when it comes to this. And I've done really bad looking binding. So I'm right there with you. The awl is also really critical. If I was an affiliate for someone, this is who I should be an affiliate for. Because like 10 people have probably gotten an awl since I started sewing. Because of me. So yeah, I just kind of turn it under and pull it just past that stitch line there. And if you do that, no one's going to see your original stitching. Also, if your needle ends up staying to the right of this stitch line right here, you can kind of tell, like I can kind of see right now with this pulled back that my needle is to the right of this stitch line, but my fold is to the left of it. The needle's going to land on the binding on the wrong side, but even if it doesn't, no big deal, right? No one's going to see that. No one's grading it either, so just be nice to yourself. All right. And then there we go. Look at that. I landed on it the whole way. See that? Hi. Hi, all. Nice to see you, Rachel. Thanks for saying hi. Spending your 2 minutes with us. Are you going to pee in the bathroom? Is that what you're doing? Hi, Randa. Have I not said hi to you? Did I say hi to you? I ordered an all. All right, and we're just going to do this on all of them. All of them. I love how this is 2-inch wide binding, but I only have 1/4 inch to turn under. The mysteries of the world, man. You got one in your bias maker kit? Oh, that's cool. What's a bias maker kit? That sounds very intriguing. All of them. I used to have a Patreon tier called All Right, and it was spelled like that. I hold back. I just want you all to know how much I hold back from being corny. I know you don't probably believe me. My husband is so much cleverer than me too, like as far as words and puns and stuff. Oh my goodness. The binding stretches. That's why I can just kind of yoink it over, even if it's not. I had a little torquing right there. And there's my seam. Ooh, 2 for 2. I like the wide binding. This looks nice. If you want pre-made binding, I sell it on my website. Trying to get rid of all of it just because I was going to kind of get into the idea, the business of just like having binding made, because I have a vendor that cuts it, which is really nice. But I just don't want to. It's just like having a product to sell. It's just one more thing to manage, and I just don't, I'm not up for it, y'all. He's funnier than me. He's very funny. He's very smart, you know. When I first started seeing him, my friends were just like, I don't think, everyone says this about him, I don't think he likes me. Last time there's only one style, what? And they just needed to get to know him. He's very quiet, but when he talks, he's really funny and smart. My mom said the same thing. Oh, look at this. 4 for 4. Yeah, I would, you know what, my idea, this was my idea, was that if the binding sold well, and I told people, I'm like, y'all want me to do this, so you better buy it. And I made my money back to like buy it all the fabric, have it cut, package it up, blah, 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 right? I made my money back for that. And I bought that fabric on sale, and it was just simple stuff, useful. Of the bias tape, what? No, there's a bunch. My idea was to get all the cotton and, not cotton steel, ooh, what a gaff, to do all the Ruby Star. I was going to do only Ruby Star. So that's what people are missing out on, and I'm missing out on, is Ruby Star binding. That's what I wanted to do. Look at that, that looks so good. Ooh, hubba hubba. All right, what's next? See how fast that was? You got this. All right, we are going to make our pleats. Oh, I'm really good at this. I wish there were, again, I wish there were notches. I don't know why there can't be notches, because relying on people to do this is a little bit dicey sometimes. I mean, I love y'all, but come on. Center, and then we're going to do 3/4 of an inch past the center. And my binding, it's not pre-folded. It's 1 3/8 of an inch wide. So it isn't also ideal for a lot of quilting. I know that. But that wasn't my goal, you know, so. Oh, you just take this one to here, don't you, right? Oh, I think we sew this. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna fold this along the outermost marking right here. Line up your edges here so that you get a nice straight line. And now we're going to edge stitch this. This might be a little thick for some machines when you get up here at the top, so be careful. In fact, I don't think it's like this in the picture because they did, oh no, they did do the little edge stitch there. This is really nice. It really defines the pockets. My pocket bucket has these kinds of pockets on it, but I didn't define them like this. Yeah, and then and then you just lay it down like this to the center notch, right? Like that. Okay, so now let's do our other one. We're gonna do this for both pockets. No, I sold all that. I sold all that very fast. I know, Heidi, right? I think of the only thing I collect is binding. That's what that whole wall is right there. That whole right-hand row is binding. Probably. I've never used one on a domestic, but I bet so. It wasn't that bad when I just did it. Where's my line? Here it is right here. It's really hard to see. So to get it straight, I make sure all these edges right here are lined up, right? And these up here. You could also make sure this is parallel if you really want to make sure, like this. And then you're going to edge stitch it. I'm going to edge stitch it from the pocket side because I feel like that's what's going to be visible to the world. So if you have a machine that has a not so pretty bobbin or not so pretty back stitch underneath, put it with the pocket side up like this, because this is going to go like this and no one's going to see the back side. It'll be harder to see it. All right, so I'm getting kind of warm. Ooh. Turn on my fan. We're about to have a what was it called? Aisha asked yesterday about it. No, Sydney asked about it. Heat dome here. It's gonna be hot, hot. All right, so I'm just putting those to meet one another like that. Do you do this on the underside too? Oh, you might do it here too. Wait, repeat to fold the seriously. They do it from the inside? Oh, maybe that's what this one is. Okay, I should have done that too. Let's do it. It'll lay flatter. Oh, that's interesting, Nancy. Do you top stitch things upside down? That's actually kind of ideal in certain situations like pocket hems and things, and hems. That's kind of nice because I sometimes will hem only from the top or stuff. They've been complaining it for days. I mean, it's August. 112, what? It's 91 here in Paradise. That's where my office is in Paradise, and it's cooler up here than at my house. Okay, so I'm gonna do, I think that this one is the other one you do. Do you do this? Am I wrong? Oh, I don't want to read all this. Okay. Fold for the moment exterior so that the fold is along the mark that is second from the left, and press edge stitch along the fold, back stitching at the start. What I don't understand is how they're showing this stitching on the inside. But isn't the gingham the outside fabric? Huh. Now fold the lining sides together. Oh, I see. You do both. Okay. It's hard skimming instructions, y'all. All right, yeah. I mean, this is something I have done a billion times on my pocket bucket, so it's really funny I'm reading instructions, but I just want to make sure I'm doing it the way they have you do it. And doing the lining probably would be a little easier because you can make sure you're being more accurate, I think. I don't know. We'll see. All right. I'm going to do it from the inside now. Make sure I got a nice parallel line. This is going right through my seam on my binding, unfortunately. Trim your threads. All right, now let's do this one here, like this. We didn't do any of this on our pocket bucket, but we didn't also interface it and make it really thick, and so it kind of naturally got creases. This is all Fahrenheit. It's Fahrenheit, yeah. Okay, let's do the same for this one. Mark my center. And now we'll mark on either side. So glad I found my little ruler. I had to like really do some acrobatics to get it to mid-80s is nice. I agree. All right, so where's that first one? Here it is, right here. Okay. Line it all up. Line it up. Trim your threads now. Now let's do this one. See if I can do these in order, left to right kind of thing. You could put your center notch on that fold there. I think this is probably one of the fussier steps that we're gonna come across. Don't overthink it. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes fussy is as fussy is, you know? Zoodle. So, I've heard of zoodles. I forgot what they are though. So are they noodles made of zucchini? When doesn't zucchini go nuts? Like, we're approaching the time of year where people just start posting zucchini's gone wild. Oh, there is a plenty. Okay, that's what I figured. Yeah. I mean, I can see it from here. I thought, well, I guess there's a chance that there's one sold out that I haven't taken off the website. And I usually am pretty good about just removing those so they're not confusing. Because since I'm not doing products anymore, I don't take, there's like this elaborate step you have to do when you're selling products on my website platform. And my website platform is pretty sophisticated, where you have to make it so that when you click on the image that you want, it registers in the drop-down menu the one you're clicking on. So right now, mine doesn't do that. You have to go through the drop-down menu, select the one you want to get that, and then if the picture is showing of the one you wanted from the drop-down menu, then you're okay. But you can just sit there and click the images and nothing will change in the drop-down menu and people will order the wrong one. So that's why I have that like thing on there. Oh, that sounds pretty good. All right, so now we're going to attach these to the outer bag. We're just going to go straight down the middle here of our stitching, like this. I've already folded mine, like put it to the center here like this. You don't have to do that. You can do that after this step, so you don't catch in the folds like I'm about to. You really want to get caught in there, don't you? There we go. Reinforce this really good. Because hands getting into, oh, but have a full bobbin. What the heck? How do we go through a whole bobbin already? Wow. Going through the thread. Make sure we keep winding a bobbin then. Clip that. Get that going again. Okay, back stitch that because people are going to be doing this a lot, you know, grabbing stuff in the pocket. And I'm going to, I think, tack this down. You can see my lining is already sticking out right here. I like to call that the kerf of the fabric. So we'll attach this to the side just like that. Same with this one. I'm more concerned about the main fabric than the lining, but you need to make sure your lining does get caught. So if your lining isn't too big, it probably is, you need to make sure it gets caught. All right, there's our pockets. Looks pretty nice, huh? Legit air sewing. Exactly. This one I didn't stitch down yet. So line it up, line it up. Put that in the center. It really wants to just pull up though. There we go. I have a notch there that I put on my pocket so I can see the center. You did not just fill, okay. I don't like it with my little binding edge. See, it kind of tried to fold up there. There we go. All right, and then we're gonna line up these edges. So this is right here, a step I would have skipped in production. This right here, just stitching the edges. But I have to say, that is something we stopped skipping in production. And so there's a lot of choices you make in production where you have to decrease your steps. But some of them, it's just better to take the time to do it because it's more like guaranteed good outcomes. So you got to weigh the pros and cons. Like, okay, that one, most 90% of the time we're fine if we don't tack it first. But this one is 50-50, then you tack it first, you know. So, and Rayanne was better at some things than I was, and vice versa. So it was really interesting, like what she would tack and what I wouldn't tack, you know. So I have a little bit of this going on right here. This is going to be a problem, by the way. So get rid of this now. You see how it's not laying flat right there? Deal with that right now, because that is big time fussiness later. Let it hang off the edge. So just let it hang off the edge nice and flat right now. Retack and just trim it off. And get rid of it. Just like that. It happens. It's because we have so many layers going on now, and they're going to start adding up so that the fabric laying on top of the other pieces will, they're just not the same length anymore because there's an inside and outside. All right, so there we go. It looks cute. All right, I'm on page 6. No, 7. Fold the strap connectors and panel in half. Wait, didn't we already do this? Oh, wait. What? I don't have strap connectors. 2" by 6". have these. What? Well, shoot, I don't have these. How did I miss that? I have to do this later, maybe. That's going to go on the top of the bag. These little guys, 2 inch by 6 inch. All right, so let's do the pockets, the lining pockets. So we don't bind these. Okay. We're just going to sew these right sides together. Okay. Okay. This is coming together a lot like another bag I sewed. But I'm trying to remember which one it was. All right, we're going to get our other... Do we have big pockets on the inside? Yeah, we do. All right, so we're going to sew these. I have, oh man, I need some pink thread. I think I need some pink thread for this. Ooh, I have a pink bobbin. Pretty sure it's this one here. Okay, after I do these, I'm going to assess where we're at. I think I'm going to start making choices if we want to bind the inside, which I'm kind of leaning toward. I even picked out binding for it because I think that it's a possibility. I picked out this little pink stripe to go on the inside. Look at how well it matches, you know? So I think I will. Oh, look at, there's a thread in there. Oh, but it's not ironed. Great. Pink. YouTube keeps pushing this pink venom challenge right now. I don't know what the heck it is. I don't want to know. I'm not interested, and I'm sick of them pushing it. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. All right, so I think that the shorter edge on this, yeah, is the top edge of your pocket. So when you're looking at your big pocket panels for the outside, it's the shorter edge, and we're just going to sew this 1/4 inch seam right sides together. Personally, I think this is a missed opportunity for binding. That's just me. And it also will add to the bulk of your seams when your binding is going into the seam. So fair enough, you know, like you don't have to bind everything. I can get carried away. I know that. We'll do all these, and then I'm going to go iron them and then edge stitch them. All right. Pink venom, that's not an energy drink, is it? No, I've seen some really frightening things about energy drinks lately. Yeah, it's a K-pop thing. I'm sure it's really fun. It's just like, I'm not doing it. You know, I'm like, you don't mean this for me to do it. All right, let's see. Is this let's double check. Where's our ends? This would be our ends. So it's the wider end of the sides, okay? So on the ends of your bag, the pocket, it's this longer length here. So this is narrow and that's longer. 1/4 inch seam. Same here. Don't get turned around on these. They're really similar, the sides, but I can kind of see when I hold it a certain way. All right, let's go iron these. And then we can edge stitch them. Oh, it's pink black. Oh, okay, yeah. That's awesome. Well, there's a challenge. I don't know what the challenge is for. It might be because, yeah, it's black pink. That's what it is. No, you're normal. Normal is cool. It's probably, did you know on Instagram that you can set favorites? Ooh, piping could go there, but I have pink piping. And this is the inside. We're not putting that kind of effort. But thanks for reminding me about the piping. Hannah's like, don't even say it wrong. Yeah, so you know on Instagram, you can make favorites now as far as accounts go. And I kind of like this. It's just like a little star. So if you have people that you really hate when you have to go look for their posts, or maybe you're trying to keep up on a pattern company or whatever, you can put them in your favorites and you just go to one of their posts and it's like a little star next to their name. And then that way, when you log in, you'll always see the starred people first, which I really appreciate. They used to do something like that with following, but that didn't make sense because we were already following people. I didn't really understand it. No, bedazzle it. See, if I were, what's her name? The sewing reporter. She would absolutely, A, do the pink venom challenge, and B, bedazzle her bag. She's really into K-pop. Just 2 online. Oh, I love that. 2 online, I can relate to that. Yeah, exactly, Nancy. I can show it to you if you guys want. Let's see. Here's my phone. Okay. So let's see here. Here's Hearts fabric, right? Whoops. Go to the little 3 dots right here. Add to favorites. You see that little star that just popped up right there? And now every time I log in, I'm going to see their stuff. Yeah, Jen from the Sewing Report. I think so. That's her name, Jen, right? She's in Florida. She's cute. She has a background in TV. So I kind of like how nerdy she can kind of get about stuff. I was going to get my mouse. I was going to find the button to click machine. And then I was like, no, I have my Stream Deck. Boink. So fast and easy. Yeah, now I know you're all on Instagram probably marking favorites. And I totally get it. Like, I did the same thing. And every time I see someone, I'm like, oh, I want you in my favorites. I have a lot of people, like you guys, in my favorites. Not a lot of businesses. You couldn't see my phone screen? Oh, man. Let's see. Now I can see on here. Okay, so see Weeds to Wildflowers here, right here. You see these 3 dots right here? Sorry, my nail is terrible. Add to favorites. Like this. And you see that little star that now just popped up right there? Now she's in my favorites. So all of her posts will automatically be at the top of my feed when I log in. So click 3 dots, add to favorites. That's all you got to do. If you want to remove someone, like you add someone accidentally, just click the star and it goes away, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I can't see what you guys are seeing when I'm at the iron. So I'm glad you told me that, Elena. All right, so I'm just top stitching this edge up here. You could probably do something more creative like Heidi said, you know, like adding piping. You could bind this edge, don't sew it right sides together first, just bind it. Because even though binding will add a little bit of thickness, so does this. So Pick your poison, right? All right, so now I have our interior pieces. I don't have my connectors done yet because I need to cut those out apparently. I thought I made all my pattern pieces. Hi Chantel, how's it going? The sewing report, I think it's the sewing report, the sewing reporter. She does a lot of Cricut stuff right now. She is a YouTube channel. Yeah. I feel like I saw this moment in time recently where she's just like, all right, I'm just going to fess up. I'm really into K-pop. You're going to start seeing a lot on my channel. And I was like, right on. Go for it. I mean, it's your channel. She'll even do like things like, oh, this is how much my channel made. Or this is the equipment I use. Because she, like I said, she has a TV background. So her channel is extremely polished. Goals, right? I think she doesn't use webcams like me. All right, what do we got next? Doesn't do live stuff. Cricut the machine, not the woman. You're not going to see my Cricut here very much. She's like, eh. Okay. So now we are getting into constructing the lining of the bag and then constructing the outer of the bag. Okay, so this is the point where I really don't need these instructions, but I've been trying to kind of stick to them just to help you guys out, you know. At this point, this is what I'm thinking about with, I could make this so that we bind the interior of the bag. I wish I had that connector piece because we could do a little bit of the piping. Let's do the piping. Let's do the piping. So let's also, so if I do this, if I go that route of clean finishing the inside so that it's not a drop-in lining, then I'm going to start making these pieces. I'm going to have to treat them like one, right? And I don't have to do that with the piping, so to speak. But this is going to get a pocket, which is right here. Let's get our pieces sorted. I'm getting kind of messy here. Here is, so here's your lining right here. Is this one big pocket? I can do whatever I want, I guess, but yeah, I do, Susan. And you would skip a layer of fabric and a layer of fusible interfacing. Missed a lot of the conversation. Did you decide how you'll turn the bag? I was just talking about that, Terry. You didn't miss anything. I think that I'm going to make it so that it's bound on the inside. So all the seams will be bound. And then that way it's not a drop-in lining at all. That's what I'm thinking. It's really only binding. Why the bottom is an oval though? So actually, you could assemble the whole bag, assemble the outer, assemble the lining, do the zipper, all of it, clean, finish, done, right? Leave the bottom off and bind the bottom on the inside. Let me show you what I mean. But let me see if does this pocket get stitched in down the middle on the inside, the lining pocket? Okay, well, I'm going to stitch one of them down the middle because this is kind of a big pocket, but a big pocket's nice, right? So while I have pink thread on, I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to stitch down the middle. Just make it into section. Yeah, I don't want to turn the bag at all. I'm going to bind it. You could do that though, you're right. I'm not a big fan of turning. Like, not because I think it's bad. I think it's just one of those things I never really got into, and it's because of my hands. Like, it was hard on my hands, you know? So I just never did a whole lot of that, but you're right, you can do that. You absolutely can do that. All right, so here, we're gonna put this on here. We could put the piping on too, but I think I'm gonna put the piping on first, and then I'm gonna put my lining here. So I'm gonna walk you through what my plan is, all right? So let's put this one on here too. This is the pocket. I'm just gonna stitch it along the sides. We'll leave this one a big pocket. I really like having a document pocket in my bags. Or, what did I just drop? What was that? What was that? That sounded like a spool of thread that just fell. All right. Okay, so here's the outer, here's the lining, all right? There's that. All right, we need the connector still on this. And we need, where are you? Oh, it's my roll of binding that fell. We need this. Here they are, okay. Like burrito method? No, I don't think you can do that. That sounds difficult. Ooh, I could be wrong about those pockets. Did I do those wrong? Why are these so small? Is it because the top zipper thing goes to it? I think so. So these pockets go like this, I think. They stick out like that, right? Hope so. I hope so. They don't fit the other way either, so. All right, so there's one. Here's this pocket here. This lining. I'm just laying it out, all right? Okay, so we have the ends there. And then we have our zipper thing here. Right? My fake seems confusing. It won't be, I promise. All right, so here's the top. So this is my idea. I say that you're gonna take these ends, right? They're gonna go together like this, right? So this is the zipper, right? So don't look at those. So this is your zipper opening right here, right? So the zipper goes right here, right? The ends get sewn to there with the connectors, okay? The connector with a little D-ring so that you can put your strap to it, right? Okay. And then you attach this whole assembly to your bag around the curve, right? So you would have your whole bag would basically be the top of the bag. Where you're finishing yolks. Oh. So then you would have the whole bag, right? It would just be missing its pants, its bottom, right? Then all you would do is, I say this like it's easy, but doing an oval to any kind of bag it's honestly not my favorite thing to do. It is pretty hard, but you could then just put the bag, the bottom to the bag, right sides together and bind it on the inside. And now your whole bag, the lining would be flat to the bag and to the binding. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm going to do. No hand sewing involved. You're only binding around the bottom. That's it. So that's my plan. Does that make sense? Let me zoom out. See, this is what I want, Elena. I want to be able to zoom out right now without having to I have to click my camera. I have to click configure video. I have to go to the camera control. Zoom out. Like that. I wish I just had a little like zoom, 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 zoom. Plus, 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 minus, minus, minus. All right, does that make sense? So then, yeah, this would be all clean finished here, the zipper. And I would just sew this right sides together. Like we could just sew the zipper right sides together. All right, like this. Make a sandwich of your zipper. Sew it together. Front and back. This is so weird though, like that thing right there. So let's do the zipper. I don't have the connector, otherwise I would put the ends to that too. And we'll put the piping on. And then I'm going to call it. I'm only binding the oval. Yeah. Exactly. All right, so I'm going to set my ends aside here because I need the connector. And, but we could, you know, do this. We could attach our pocket on here like this. And so when you do these kinds of pockets, yeah, I still have pink thread on. I have this exact kind of pocket on my pocket bucket. Look, I should show you. I have my pocket bucket right here. It's right here. See, look. This is my pattern. See, look, there's the gusseted pockets. There's the pocket we're sewing right now. Look at that. It sticks out just like this one. This one's bound completely on the outside, so no turning. This is my wheelhouse. I got this. I love adding a pocket like this, like do the volume of the pocket. So the only thing about pockets like this is it's nice that it sticks out like that, but it is kind of the volume of the pocket can't sit at the bottom because see it's tapered, but it gives you more room to put stuff in there. You know what I mean? So I like using this kind of pocket method. And if you wanted, you can slip elastic in and get it to be scrunched, which is how I do my project bag. You're only binding those. Yeah, I already read that. Okay. So same with this lining here. So let's just attach this lining piece kind of at the top and bottom. Like this. I'm going to do it from this side since my pocket is in the way. And then we'll put our pocket on here. One of the dangers you have when you're putting these kinds of pockets on is this, because there's a slight angle right here, and this one's not very drastic. Mine's more drastic because my bucket stays the same at the bottom and right here. Theirs tapers, right? And so you get more volume at the top here. So it's not as straight of an, or as slanted of an angle. So the danger you run the risk of having happen is when you attach this to here, you'll pull this side higher than this one is. So just be careful because of all that bias. Oh, but wait. I'm already doing this wrong. I'm already doing this wrong. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to bind. I want to do this so we don't have to bind the inside. I know there's a way. Right now, the pockets for bottles, maybe. The bottle wouldn't sit in there though. Okay, wait. Let me think about this. I think I might be wishing for too much. The lining has to be sewn separately from the outer. And when you have a zipper sewn like this, so if we have our zipper sewn here, right, we have our zipper sewn here, I can keep this edge loose, but I can't keep this edge loose. So you get into, no, you can't do it that way. I can do it right sides together. Let me think about this. But right here is the problem. Right here. Wait a minute, is this right? Oh, I always go rogue and then I'm like, shoot. You know what you could do to do it that way is you'd have to cut off part of this and then put a piece that goes across on each side. So if I don't want to bind the whole arching seam, I'm fine with that. I'm just trying to get it away from you doing this, right? You could you'd have to get this to where the lining for the whole bag is separate from the outer. And you can't do that because of the way the zipper is sewn in right now. You'd have to put an end right here so that the zipper and the lining could all come together here and be sewn right sides together. But that you have a loose edge of lining here to sew to the inside ends and the outer ends. So we could do that. We can do that. Do I want to do that? Binding and piping that whole thing. Oof, that's thick. That's really thick. I could let go of the piping. I don't have to do that. But we kind of like that idea. And I'm terrible at piping, so I know you're going to love watching me do that. If you sew as per instruction and prior to the birthing, you sew the bottom sides together in the seam allowance. I think you have to keep the lining fabric out of your stitching. Yeah, exactly. Does the pattern say to create the whole lining and then attach it, and then you can just leave the bottom? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so if I sew it as per instruction, I could just not sew the bottom on instead of birthing it. Tammy's over it. Sorry. I like figuring these things out. And I'm not just trying to figure it out. Like I can think of a few different ways to do this. I'm trying to figure out this in a way that would be palatable to sew and get you a lining that's smooth to the bag so that it's not loose. I don't like loose lining. It decreases the volume. It's fussy. I like it to be smooth to the inside of the bag. And that's what I'm trying to go for right now. So I think I could do it to where it wouldn't be plastered to the sides, kind of, I think what Terry is saying, but it would be at the bottom. So and maybe I could do it to where we're not could I do that? because it's the hand sewing I'm trying to avoid too. Just skip ahead if you're watching the replay. Yeah, I know, but I don't want it to drop in. I know how to do that. I just don't want it to drop in. I don't want it to be loose. Yeah. Okay. Let's continue on how they have you do this. And then I will divert when it's ready, when it's time. Okay. Machine base this. Yeah, so they get this whole lining together. Oh, this is the exterior right here. I want to put the zipper in. Why haven't we put the zipper in yet? Did I miss it? I don't see the zipper. Oh, pin or glue base. The main compartment zipper face down and centered over the seam. Flip right side up. Using a zipper. Flip right side up. Using zipper top stitch both sides. Both. Okay. Okay. So, and then okay, this is the, I want to see, the lining is shoot, I'll just figure this out off camera for you guys, sorry. I'm not reading these instructions thoroughly enough, and then I start questioning it. And I keep getting confused because there's polka dots, and then there's gingham, and there's solid blue. So it does look like they don't, it looks like they're doing what I do, what I want to do already. Yeah, I think they're, okay. So the lining bottom pins. I think they're doing this the way I'm thinking about. You know? So, I think we're good. Pin the exterior bottom panel to the bottom edge of the exterior main panels, matching the centers of each end of the bottom panel to the centers of the side panels. Oh, no. They're not doing it that way. Okay. All right. I'm getting too hungry to figure this out right now. But that's my plan. I'm going to sew this so that the, that the lining does drop in, but only around the upper part of the bag. So I'm still going to sew it pretty much identical to how they're doing it for the most part. And then we're going to drop in the lining, but only the top part. And then I'm going to sew the bottom of the bag all as one piece. So it's going to be lining, stabilizer, the Peltex, and then the outer fabric as one sandwich, right? And then I'm going to sew that to the bag and bind it on the inside. But if you were to reach in the bag and pull the lining, it would pull away from the sides, but it'll still be really smooth. Better than it being a drop-in. Yeah, exactly. So that's my plan. I feel good about it still. So even if we can't get it plastered to the edges, then that way we can keep the piping. And I gotta get those connectors cut and sewn. I don't know how I missed that. I'm kind of still shocked they're not here, but I don't remember cutting and sewing them, so I don't think they're there. I'm gonna stop looking for them. But we can do a little bit of piping real quick before I go. Let's just see how this is gonna go. Where's my little package of ancient piping? All right. Look at how cute this is. It's just so cute. Do you guys have fancy cording feet? I don't. But I do have a narrow foot. A narrow foot. Jeez Louise. I have this one thread just plaguing my existence right now here. It's like wrapped around everything. Through my screwdriver on the floor and everything. I remember cut the connectors. They escaped the basket. Really? Really? I did? Then maybe they're in there. Are they really in there? What the heck? Maybe you're right. Maybe I thought that they were scrap because they would look like scrap. I have enough fabric to cut them. I have these right here. These are the handles. This is the strap, the long strap, and that's all I remember. Yes, I really don't think I cut those. I cut the other connectors. That's it. Oh, the cotton gone. I think this will be fine. For a bag, you know. You're pretty sure. Oh. I mean, these were also called connectors. All right, let's do it. Ooh, look at that really thick chain stitch on the back. Of course you have cording feet in several sizes. All right. I'm just going to stitch it right in their stitching. I'm going to go back because it pushed me off a little bit. I think a cording foot would be really helpful. Maybe my Bernina has one. Back on track. I'm trying to cover up this stitching right here too. So I'm keeping this stitching like just like barely to the left of that blue stitching here. That might be a little too close. With piping, I think it's really key to keep it consistent. If you don't have the cording and you want like a little like edge of like a pop of color, you can just fold bias in half, wrong sides together. Bye, Aussie. Nice seeing you. That's true. It's early for you guys. Yeah, I don't think so too, Barbara. I didn't buy anything extra. And it was meant for quilters, so, you know. There, right there. I went a little bit away. I think my other foot would have been better for that. Ooh. It's so lucky I had this pink, you know. I hope that this is enough of a seam allowance. I think that when I think about this right now, and I think about future steps right now, putting this so that I'm on the final seam line is the way to go. So you have to make sure that all your layers are going to line up to that point. And that like a lining layer doesn't fall short. Right, Terry? We all have dreams of being Gadget Nancy. We'll just start calling her Inspector Nancy. I think my regular foot would do a better job of making it, because this isn't a true zipper foot. And my regular foot would help me mash down the piping. All right. There we go. All right. Look now, because you can only go so tight, right? But that'll be cute. No, Heidi, I'm trying to give it away for free in the guild right now. I got given this huge amount of it. This is looking good, though. I like it. I like all the colors. It even looks pretty good on camera. The denim, our pockets. So fancy, right? I agree. Patterns like this always make you feel like a genius, you know? That's always a good, smart pattern when you're making your sewists feel like a genius. Look at that. Looks good. All right, I will see you Saturday. I promise I'll be clear about how the bag's going to go together. I'll make it easy to follow. If you want to get ahead of me, though, I don't really want to give out instructions quite yet, because I need to make sure one little thing is going to go the way I want. There's lots of ways to do it, and I'm going for something that's a compromise between, okay, I'm willing to do it that way because of the end result, and the end result, because otherwise it's going to be one of those things where it's like, oh, I don't really like the drop-in lining because it's like loosey-goosey in there, and it'll always look wrinkly and poofy in the bag. It'll get hung up on things if it's not anchored. And this way, there's a way to really prevent that, but it is a lot more work with binding. And I think we can find a happy medium with less binding. So yeah, I think it's gonna be really pretty too. Thanks for coming. Thanks for like putting up with my rambling. I'll see you guys on Saturday, and we'll finish this bag. It's looking good. Thanks for coming. Bye.